But number 2, Iowa State. Take me home, country roads. It was so cool to see West Virginia Coliseum on fire and the court stormed. It reminded me of the good old days of West Virginia basketball. Mountaineers 64, Iowa State 57. This is West Virginia's 3rd top 10 win of the season. Rob, I'm going to start with you on this. Darren DeVries in year 1. I mean, my word, this is without his son. And West Virginia just keeps humming along, looking like a top 25 team again. They take down an Iowa State team that has looked unbeatable at times. Not anymore. They take their second loss. What's your reaction?
Javon Small is the Big 12 Player of the Year. He's got to be an All-American. I think he's closer to being a first-team All-American than he is not being on one of the 3 All-American teams. I think this West Virginia team is very, very, very real. And I'm going to say something. I had this thought watching them today, right? And please tell me if I'm crazy, but this group, this West Virginia team, the way that they're built reminds me so much of the 2014 UConn team that had Shabazz Napier and Ryan Boatwright on it, because they have 2 guards that are capable of really making plays. They have if they get back Tucker DeVries, they have a wing that can make shots, same as DeAndre Daniels on that team. They really, really, really guard. They know how to win. They've taken down big opponents. I don't know that I'm not sitting here saying that this West Virginia team is going to go out and win a national championship, right? But what I am saying is that the way that this team is built, they are built to be able to find a way to win in March, right? When you can get stops, when you have athletes that want to defend, and you have a guard that can absolutely take over games, you could do things like, beat Gonzaga on a neutral court. Beat Arizona on a neutral court. Beat Kansas in Fog Allen Fieldhouse. Beat Iowa State in your own building. Like they can play with anyone in the country. They can beat anyone in the country. And when Javon Small is playing the way that he did today, I would not be surprised to see them beat anybody when it comes to the NCAA tournament. I think that they are built for March, and I'm very, very excited to see where this team goes. And I'm going to give myself a pat on the back. I said that they were the sleeper in the Big 12 before the season started. Oh, no, I separated my shoulder doing that, man.
Listen, they've got 4 wins that are really, really impressive. And the last 2 have come without Tucker DeVries, who we thought would be their best player this year. And whether or not he would have been their best player, second best player, I don't care. He and Small and Hansberry were kind of a 3-headed monster at that point. And I don't think anybody in Morgantown could have named another player on this team. And you take away Tucker DeVries and you're still doing what you're doing when everybody knows Small has got to be the guy. It's absolutely, you're right. Like, he's Big 12 Player of the Year. He's an All-American candidate. I thought they would absolutely plummet over the last couple weeks, and instead they found a way. I don't know if they can keep finding a way, but listen, what they did was they slowed down Iowa State, and that offense has been much better this year. And Iowa State's offense looked like Iowa State's offense a year ago today, and they couldn't make shots. Curtis Jones was kind of the only guy who really had it going. He's been awesome this year, by the way. Talk about an underrated player. Curtis Jones has been phenomenal. I'd like to see Lipsey when they need him to. And I know he's playing hurt. I know he's got a shoulder injury you could tell it affects him. But I would like to see Lipsey be a little bit more assertive, looking for his own in games like this. But, again, give West Virginia the credit. And I would say this, beyond Javon Small being Big 12 Player of the Year, I think you can make a legitimate case right now for Darren DeVries being a National Coach of the Year candidate. He's got to be in the equation.
Yeah,
agreed.
100%.
Agreed. Wholeheartedly agree. By the way, Jeff, couldn't agree more. I think he was a money hire, and the guys that he brought in, but he did a great job at Drake. He did a really nice job.
Fana, here was my worry about him. Following Bob Huggins, my big worry was Darren DeVries is like a super clean, nice dude who's just a really good ball coach. And following Huggins and what was left behind of Huggins' guys and the money people, could he get it done? And I still don't know if he can, but winning will help him be able to get more money from that Huggins group.
That's it. In today's climate, if you're the rigid sort of, I mean, Darren's got the 5 o'clock Morgantown shadow going on. Like, he's pumping up the crowd today. He was. It's not like he's out of place with the job. I think it's the fact that, like, in my opinion, you look at today's climate, and this is exactly where we're going to go next with Vanderbilt. You get a guy who can just dive into the strategy piece. If you win now and you're at a school that has good enough football and good enough television revenue, the people understand they've got to spend some dollars to fund a roster. Where, like, win games. Just freaking win games. Now, you got to get dudes to do it. But if you get them initially, it makes it a whole lot easier for you to say, look, man, this is what we need to be successful. Do you want to get embarrassed or do you want to win? West Virginia's got enough. They got a great fan base. They got terrific passion there. They're the pro team. They got people with dollars there. And the dollar's a little cheaper over in Morgantown. Beers cost a little less there. Everything costs a little less there. They're going to be just fine. That is still it's a good job in college basketball, and he's doing a hell of a job, which is where we go next. I mean,